cleaning rag left nearby. Stacks of books to shelve, bags of books to take to town. Myrtle Wolf may not know it. Her front porch, her library, is the latest landmark in the town of Flora. Ray Summers at large with photographer Lori Olson.
It was Thomas Carlyle who said the true university of these days is a collection of books. Mrs. Wolf is therefore the head of the University of Flora.
Honestly, there's not a lot to do there, so thank goodness she is there,
You have
right?
books to read. You have a lot to do when you can read.
That's right. We want you to tune in a little earlier tomorrow. We're going to report the news at 4 p.m.
And those college teams will be in pursuit of the NCAA crown at 5.
Have a great evening. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 11.
An alarming new report about how fast AIDS is spreading in this country.
They all say they want to change things, and they don't change nothing.
Angry voters shake up the Democratic presidential race. And the money crunch. Tonight, money-saving tax deductions you may not know about. This is the CBS Evening News. Good evening. I'm Connie Chung in tonight for Dan Rather. The AIDS epidemic in this country is getting worse by the minute. That's the disturbing conclusion of a report the government is about to release. CBS News correspondent Bruce Morton has an advanced look tonight at the growing threat of AIDS in America.
This woman has AIDS. The government will announce new numbers tomorrow that say there will be many more like her, that the disease is spreading among Americans, spreading fast. CBS News has learned the announcement will say that 1 in every 250 Americans now has the AIDS virus. That works out to almost 1 out of every 100 men, 1 in every 800 women. Some American becomes infected with the HIV virus every 13 minutes. In this year alone, 40,000 Americans will die of AIDS. Another 40,000 will become infected with the HIV virus. AIDS is now the third leading cause of death among Americans aged between 25 and 44, behind unintentional death and heart disease, ahead of cancer.
Maybe we're reaching the point of understanding that AIDS is a juggernaut, which, if it continues unchecked the way it has in the past, is going to tear into the very fabric of our society.
The prevention message, Graham says, is not getting through. Today, critics charge the government is doing a particularly bad job educating minorities about AIDS.
Institutionalized racism in the area of health care in general exacerbates the problem of little or no services dealing with this problem of AIDS.
The only possible explanation is that we haven't done the job. As a city, as a society, we haven't done the prevention job.
The safest sex is no sex.
One private effort at education is a program running tonight by the Nickelodeon Cable Television Company and the Magic Johnson Foundation. It includes children who have the disease.
I feel really scared about having HIV and being HIV positive.
We are normal people, okay? We are.
Testing positive for the HIV virus doesn't mean you have AIDS yet. The government says, however, the number of both groups are increasing. The administration's response, a new ad campaign. It may take more than that. Bruce Morton, CBS News, Washington.
Yeah.
In the presidential race, the pressure is on Democrat Bill Clinton. He's now looking for a convincing win in the upcoming New York primary to erase his upset loss to Jerry Brown in Connecticut last night. As Richard Threlkeld reports, the Clinton-Brown battle for New York is starting to look like a New York street fight.
Good morning, folks. Say hello to Governor Clinton. The Clinton campaign is now on red alert, devoting full time to New York and what is now a must-win for him in the upcoming primary. His opening shot, an attack on Jerry Brown's proposed 13% across-the-board tax on individual income.
We do not need another idea. It sounds simple, sounds appealing, appeals to legitimate resentment, but makes the problem worse.
All the way. Brown proved to be the beneficiary of a huge protest vote in Connecticut. And though hardly any of those who voted for him think he is electable, you'd never have known it hearing him today.
Let the rest of this country know that New York wants real change. Not little insider games, but a grassroots, we the people campaign.
New Yorkers may want change, but like those in Connecticut, they are unhappy with both the candidates. Ask around the breakfast table at the Thruway Diner in New Rochelle.
I don't know who I want. All I know is that the people that are in the race right now, I think, are all unsatisfactory.
They all say they want to change things. They don't change nothing.
2/3 of Connecticut Democrats voted against Bill Clinton. There was some of that sentiment here, too.
Seems like Clinton is just more of the same.
There was a yearning for new faces.
Russ Perot.
Russ Perot.
Yeah, I saw him. I thought he made a lot of sense.
Perot is the Texas billionaire who's testing the presidential waters. His Dallas office claims they're now getting 10,000 phone calls an hour from supporters. Hello. With the voters in such an ugly mood, Bill Clinton's road to victory in New York is going to be all uphill. Governor Mario Cuomo, who appeared with Brown today but hasn't endorsed anybody, said this about Clinton.
He doesn't have it locked up. Certainly, Connecticut indicated that.
And the state Democratic chairman, John Marino, said this.
My mother isn't ready yet to vote for Bill Clinton, and there are a lot of other people I know, Democrats, who we need in November who aren't ready.
And how's the Democrats' disarray playing in Washington? At the White House, very well.
Are you pleased with how the Democratic race is shaping up?
The Democrats, needless to say, fail to see the humor in any of this, Connie.
All right, thank you, Richard Threlkeld. Even after losing Connecticut to Jerry Brown, Bill Clinton is way ahead in the delegate count. Clinton now has nearly half the delegates he needs for the Democratic nomination. On the Republican side, President Bush is zeroing in on his magic number. Pat Buchanan is barely a blip in the delegate count. A little later in the broadcast, tonight's Eye on America will show you another developing trend this political year: women running for office, running harder and angrier. Right now, a follow-up to another Eye on America, the story of two men who spent almost 2 decades in prison for murder. All along, they said they were innocent. John Blackstone reports on justice delayed, but tonight, no longer denied.
After 17 years in prison, isolated from the world, Clarence Chance was subdued as he entered court today. But Benny Powell, with the support of family and friends, seemed confident this was the day he and Chance would finally win freedom, finally prove they are innocent.
Mr. Chance, in his battle for freedom, never gave up hope. And this case is a testimonial to the will of the human spirit.
As we reported last week, Powell and Chance have been behind bars since 1975, when they were convicted of murdering a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy. Through it all, they have insisted they didn't do it.
No one can return to Benny Powell or Clarence Chance the 17 and a half years of their lives that have been stripped away from them.
A picture of a much younger Clarence Chance, his lawyer said, showed a man whose youth was stolen, but who never gave up hope for justice.
Just like Clarence Chance, you ought never to give up. The system can still be made to work for you. Thank you, Judge.
But no one would believe them until Jim McCloskey took their case. He's a determined investigator who has made a career out of getting the innocent out of prison. He even got a Los Angeles district attorney to come to court today to say the original trial was unfair. The judge commended McCloskey and then ended 17 years of waiting.
Both defendants are ordered released directly from this courtroom. Mr. Powell and Mr. Chance, you are free men.
I feel a lot of great gratitude for everything, and I just feel it's a special day.
Free at last, thank God Almighty, you're free at last.
Benny Powell and Clarence Chance pledged they would not let bitterness over all they have lost cloud the joy of their new freedom. John Blackstone, CBS News, Los Angeles.
An 82-year-old man with Alzheimer's disease was sent back to Oregon tonight to a nursing home. He had been found abandoned in Idaho at a dog racing track. The man didn't know who he was or how he got there. But after his story and picture got around, he was finally identified as a retired auto worker, John Kingery. He had been checked out of the nursing home by his daughter. Authorities say the woman is not telling them much about what happened. Still ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, there's still time to save money on your 91 taxes. Our Money Crunch report on hidden deductions. And 2 tons of terror that's rattling Japanese nerves.
New American cuisine from the menu? I love it. The white meat, the muffin, the glazes, the spice, the style, the smile, the salsa with rice, the tangy, the trendy, the let me suggest. New American cuisine, the menu, the best. The great combinations, the grilled with the care, the new way of eating with savoir-faire. The turkey, the sirloin, woo, I'm impressed. New American cuisine, the menu, the best. Woo-hoo.
What does this woman know about dieting that maybe you don't? That you don't have to drink your breakfast, because a serving of Kellogg's Special K actually has fewer calories than a glass of the leading diet shake. In fact, the entire Special K breakfast, including fruit, skim milk, and coffee, has fewer calories than the diet shake. So, if you're going to have something special when you're trying to lose weight, shouldn't it be something special with fewer calories? Kellogg's Special K. Lose the fat. A lot of Americans are jumping back into the housing market. Sales of used homes shot up more than 9% last month. Prices were up a bit, too. Realtors say buyers are taking advantage of low mortgage interest rates before they go up. Mortgage interest is one of the items you can deduct from your taxes. There are other deductions as well, but you have to know where to look. Correspondent Ray Brady points the way in tonight's report on the Money Crunch.
Meet tax accountant Reuben Gorwitz. To him, leafing through IRS regulations looking for new tax deductions is like playing war games. A game, he says, most taxpayers lose. They pay too much in taxes needlessly.
The government wants you to take everything you're entitled to. And there are many that maybe people miss that they are entitled to.
You may need every deduction you can find when you fill out Form 1040 this year, because many of the tried and true write-offs of the past, like expenses for an on-the-job uniform or the use of your car, many of those may no longer be deductible. So how do you beat this system?
There's only one way out of that, and that's if your employer says to you, instead of you paying your car expenses, I'll pay it for you, and reduce the salary.
Even with a lower salary, in most cases, you'll wind up dollars ahead. The prime way to beat today's high taxes, says Reuben Gorwitz, is to have your own business or run one on the side. Certain items that you can no longer deduct if you're an employee, like credit card interest, are deductible if they're part of your business.
You could probably make up to $10,000 or $15,000 a year, not pay any tax on it.
But whether you're in business for yourself or not, there's a long list of tax goodies, deductions you may be overlooking.
Auto rental, bank charges, books, newspapers, parking, periodicals, tax preparation, air travel.
Throughout the year, keep a daily diary, a record of all your expenses. If the expense is under $25, the IRS doesn't require a receipt. And always think deductions. Maybe you'd like to take Mom out to lunch, a tax-deductible lunch.
And she in any way helped you with your job, help you with any technical advice, any ways of helping you earn money, that lunch is deductible.
The new federal tax withholding rates will affect you.
Right now, there's probably less being taken out of your paycheck.
Your income tax refund will be less next year.
That's part of President Bush's plan to speed up the economy. So check the amount of withholding on your pay stub now.
A little balance.
You might want to have more taken out to avoid a nasty surprise at tax time, 1993. Ray Brady, CBS News, The Money Crunch.
Stay with us now for more CBS News, including the story of a space traveler landing in a new world.
People who hurt from arthritis are discovering a safer aspirin, Ecatrin.
On a bad day, I can take up to 8 and not be concerned about irritating my stomach.
It's the orange coating that makes it safer.
Plain and buffered aspirin dissolves in the stomach where aspirin can cause damage. But Ecatrin's safety coating helps protect your stomach from aspirin's damage.
So I'm not worried taking the maximum dose.
Every 6 hours. Pow, pow.
For minor arthritis pain, the safer aspirin is Ecatrin. And that's the truth.
Here's the problem. You need to remodel your house, but you don't know if you'll ever get to do it. Because in between need and get is a gap called not enough money. Well, it's easy to bridge that gap between need and get. Just go to First Interstate Bank, because First Interstate offers home improvement loans, car loans and secured lines of credit at some of our lowest rates in years. So to go from need to get, just go to First Interstate Bank, and we'll help you get what you need.
For cleaning, shining, and disinfecting, nothing outperforms us in the bathroom. Dow Bathroom Cleaner, starring Scrubbing Bubbles. We work hard so you don't have to.
For 3 days only, every gallon of paint and every roll of wallpaper is on sale at Sears. Save 10 to 33% on every gallon of paint. And 33% on every wallpaper pattern in stock. But hurry, sale ends Saturday at Sears.
4 girls murdered in cold blood. A town's nightmare. A cop's obsession. Who killed these girls? 48 hours tonight.
Muammar Gaddafi is backing away from a pledge to hand over 2 terrorist suspects to the Arab League. The UN Security Council responded by moving ahead with plans to vote stiff sanctions against Libya. Gaddafi told Arab League diplomats today he will not give up the 2 men until the World Court hears their case. They're wanted by the United States and Britain for the bombing of Pan Am Flight 103. Officials in Russia say the nuclear power plant that leaked radioactive gas yesterday has now cooled off. And they say it poses no danger to the public. The government is brushing off calls to shut down its aging Chernobyl-type reactors. The Russians say they need the power. A Soviet cosmonaut came back to Earth today after nearly a year in space to find the Soviet Union gone. Anthony Mason reports.
Sergei Kriklyov looked a little green and wobbly when they pulled him out of his capsule this morning. But after 310 days in orbit, he had returned at last to a strange new land called the Commonwealth. Kriklyov's odyssey began last May when the Soviet Union saluted its latest cosmonaut and sent him and 2 fellow travelers into orbit. His mission was supposed to last a few months, but with everything that happened, said one Russian commentator, we kind of forgot about Mr. Kriklyov. No sooner had Sergei arrived at the space station Mir than the Soviet world turned upside down. He missed Boris Yeltsin's inauguration as Russian president. He was out repairing the space station's antenna about the time the coup plotters were trying to remove Gorbachev. Gorbachev returned, but Kriklyov did not. The communists fell, an empire collapsed, a commonwealth was born. Through it all, cosmonaut Kriklyov was stranded in space. From Earth, his wife tried to tell him what had happened. But if you haven't lived through it, she says, it's pretty hard to understand. Mission Control had called back his fellow cosmonauts, but when Kriklyov's turn came, the new Commonwealth was too broke to bring him home. Reinforcements finally arrived last week, the mission financed in part by a paying German passenger. This morning, touchdown for Kriklyov's capsule was reported 6 seconds early. 6 seconds early and 6 months late. Welcome to the bright new world, cosmonaut Kriklyov. You may need those sunglasses for a little while. Anthony Mason, CBS News, Moscow.
Coming up next, Eye on America. Tonight, voter anger translates into victory for female candidates.
This plant is in trouble. Maybe so are you. Because what will you do? And how will you do it? With the one who guides you every step of the way. Ortho. It's our nature to help.
Because some aches and pains don't go away when the lights go out, we've created Tylenol PM. Specially formulated with extra-strength Tylenol pain reliever for those aches and pains that can keep you up at night. Plus, a gentle ingredient to help you sleep. So you can wake up refreshed in the morning. From the name you trust comes Tylenol PM, so you can rest easy.
Fingerman here for the one and only Ziploc. Something fishy going on in your refrigerator? Nothing works like Ziploc brand storage bags. Ziploc has the Gripper Zipper, the only bag with tough, tiny teeth. You can feel it dripping.
So you know freshness is locked in, odor is locked out. That's a good feeling you only get from Ziploc. Sorry I had to point fingers there, fella. For fresh food, there's only one, Ziploc.
I'm Harry Smith.
And I'm Connie Chung. They're provocative, one-of-a-kind, and are well-guarded secrets.
Not who the Oscar winners are, it's what they're wearing. Tomorrow on CBS This Morning. Breakfast for your head.
We're hearing a lot this election year about voter outrage. Tonight we want to focus on a rallying point for the protest vote. No, not the man from California named Brown, but women, such as the one from Illinois named Braun. She's not alone. Bob McNamara reports tonight's Eye on America.
We are the future. Well, we did it. Thank you, and God bless you all.
They are new names in American politics.
DC, I want you to know.
Women's names.
I am not going to let you down.
Sharon Pratt Kelly, Ann Richards, and others. Women who've crashed the old boys club and brought their friends.
I'm Dottie Lemieux, running for supervisor in the 4th District, a seat which never has been held by a woman, and we think it's time for a change. There is an old boys club, it definitely is, and I think that people want to see a different kind of a politician.
Know the demographics of your district.
In Oakland, California, 50 women learn the basics of politics from the pros at the National Women's Political Caucus.
You don't need everybody to vote for you. You need 50% plus one. That's all.
There may be a U.S. Senator, there may be a future water reclamation commissioner in this room. I think Anita Hill started it, and I think that was the point where women said, there's problems.
I do. That vision of 14 white men on the Senate Judiciary Committee has stayed in the minds of American voters, and ironically, 92 may well be the year when it's in to be outside.
It's really great. Yes, it is.
Carol Mosley Braun's Illinois primary win last week.
Congratulations.
The flood of donations to women's political action groups.
Good win.
Thank you.
All signals that voters may surprise the old system this fall.
Congratulations.
Today, women candidates are not only benefiting from a throw-the-bums-out mood in the country, they've got the numbers to win. Women are in the majority, and they're more likely to vote than men. And for the first time, too, in American politics, women candidates have support inside the system, an old girls network that expands with each election.
I think there is a support system, a system that I didn't find when I was young.
Texas Governor Ann Richards knows hands-on how hard it is for women to climb the political ladder.
You have to overcome what is the stereotypical notion that only a male has done this job, therefore only a male can do this job.
I've considered running for governor. I've considered perhaps a congressional or a senatorial seat.
With 13 years in elected office,
Good to see you, Mary Landrieu.
Mary Landrieu works for other women candidates and thinks they'll do well this year because of the voters' mood.
Very angry, and they have a reason to be, because the government as we know it is really not working.
The great thing about being new is that I'm not bound by what didn't work. I'm interested in what will.
Lena Guerrero is a first for Texas, a woman, Hispanic,
But we got opportunities here.
and in charge of regulating Texas oil.
I've got to prove something. I've got to prove that I can handle the tough economic issues in tough economic times.
Oh, it was good. I like your enthusiasm.
Women have to work a lot harder. We understand that if we don't do a good job, they may never elect another woman.
Conventional wisdom about women and minorities used to be that if one of them fails, all of them will. But this year, as American politics turns outside in,
We are going to make history in November. Thank you. Thank you so much.
suddenly everything seems possible. In Dallas, Bob McNamara for Eye on America.
Draw from the facts. There's a way to maintain regularity without drugs. It starts here. A high-fiber diet, which can include Kellogg's All Bran, an excellent source of wheat bran fiber, may help you stay regular, drug-free. And there's a lot to be said for that, naturally. A high-fiber diet on Kellogg's All Bran for drug-free regularity.
If you've been away from American cars and trucks for a while, listen to these reviews.
Chevy Blazer got four-wheeler of the year. Here's one on Pontiac.
This is what I like here. Import fighter.
GM's 15 all-new cars and trucks. Today, compare proudly with any in the world.
Like old 88 did it again.
The new breed of American sedan.
So go see what the people of General Motors have built for you. GM, putting quality on the road.
Hot coffee and steak in front of strangers at 30,000 feet? Not till I switched. Now I fix it and forget it.
That's good. When people are watching you this closely, you just can't be worried about your dentures. That's why I Fixident and forget it.
Fixident holds stronger than any other adhesive. It even stands up to the hottest liquids.
Taste it, Grandpa.
He never would have tried this with his old adhesive.
For the strongest hold you can get, Fixident and forget it.
It's nothing serious. It only wakes me up a couple of times a week. It really doesn't affect me. I avoid foods that are fried or spicy. I can deal with it. I just take antacids.
If you have frequent heartburn symptoms like acid indigestion or burning in the chest, talk to your doctor. These may be signs of a serious medical problem. Your doctor has treatment plans that can help.
It's only heartburn. I should learn to live with it. Right?
Frequent heartburn. Isn't it time you talk to your doctor?
And finally tonight, Japan is known as a nation that thrives on anxiety. But what's happening now is more like panic. As correspondent Bill Whitaker reports, it's a real-life version of a scary movie.
Nothing much ever happened out here on these islands in Japan's inland sea. Divers went down every day, as they had for ages, to harvest the rich shellfish beds. Until the day this month, when diver Kazuta Harada frantically called up for help. His last terrified word, shark.
We pulled him up, but the suit was empty. We are frightened.
Word of the deadly shark attack, the first anyone can remember, sent shockwaves through the tiny fishing communities. Now, each day brings new tales of more and bigger killers plying the unseasonably warm waters. Terrified divers hug the shores these days.
We are scared of sharks. We cannot make a living anymore.
Tourists won't set foot in the water.
I'm a jet skier, but I will not go in now. This will hurt the summer resort business.
It set off a kind of nationwide shark frenzy. While Tokyo talk shows discuss the finer points of shark bites, coastal fishermen have mobilized to take their waters back, using hogsheads as fish bait. Today, they heaved a collective sigh of relief when they hauled this 2-ton, 25-foot behemoth out of coastal waters. The whole episode has been dubbed Japan's Jaws. But this real-life version doesn't end with the death of the monster. It seems today's catch is a gentle seaweed-eating giant, not a man-eater. So the hunt continues. Everyone fears the killer is still out there, and nobody knows when it will be safe to go back into the water. Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Tokyo.
And that's our news. Coming up on 48 Hours, the baffling murder of 4 all-American teenagers. Join Dan Rather tonight at 10, 9 Central Time. I'm Connie Chung in New York. I'll see you again tomorrow night and tomorrow morning. I'll be sitting in for Paula Zahn on CBS This Morning. Thank you for joining us, and for all of us at CBS News, good night.
Says government is too big and costs too much.
How serious a threat is he to George Bush's presidential campaign?
He failed to mention that he's presided over the greatest explosion in government spending and taxation in history.
In a special one-hour interview, David Frost talks with Pat Buchanan about his views on the issues facing America this election year. Friday night, don't miss Pat Buchanan talking with David Frost.
Funding for local broadcast of the McNeil-Lehrer News Hour has been provided by Davis Wright Tremaine, a law firm serving businesses and individuals from from offices in Oregon, Washington, California, Idaho, Alaska, and Washington, D.C.